Good morning, YouTube. We are like 2.5 weeks out from Girl Power. So we're about a week and a half post-show from the Arnold UK. We're going to take you through a full day of eating today and then also go over thoughts on the last show, where we can improve, and what we're doing moving forward and what the plans are for that. Breakfast this morning is quite similar to what you've seen in the past. We actually added carbs back in since the Arnold UK, but after check-ins yesterday, we are doing a couple low-calorie days. So today's breakfast isn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be for you when we planned this a couple days ago, but we'll at least take you through it. We're going to do training later today as well, and we'll give you all of our thoughts, goals, all that stuff heading into the next couple shows to try to qualify for the Olympiad. Egg whites, 1 egg, spinach, mushrooms. That's my breakfast. 15 grams of dairy-free cheese. All right, so we had a meal too quickly because I fell asleep on the couch and then woke up and remembered that I had a podcast with Amber and Krista in 5 minutes. So we ate that really fast and then I jumped on the podcast. So just did that, and then we're gonna get ready for the gym. My 2 meals are about an hour apart, so they're kind of close together, but I didn't want to have a bunch of meals stacked on top of each other this evening, so I went ahead and got that one in, and we're just going to do a shake pre-workout. So this is the RTD from Rod's, cookies and cream, which is my favorite flavor. I'm going to drink this, and then we will go train. We're training glutes today, and then we will go over all the things about last show day, what we've done since then, and what we are doing to change things for Girl Power. We're gonna start on abductors. We'll push intensity a little bit. I don't wanna keep intensity too low for too long, especially in between shows, to make sure that the muscle density stays looking how we want. But we're not gonna go to complete failure on every exercise. So we'll push towards it. I don't wanna be too inflamed where I can't recover, because we've extended this prep. It is a little harder on the body, so we have to keep recovery in the mindset as far as what we're pushing towards, making sure that I can recover from it and be ready in 2 days to train again. But we want to keep intensity high enough that we can hang on to the muscle that I do have. So start in abductors, and then we'll figure out what we're doing as we go.
My heart beats loud. Give me oxytocin. it's not. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. Don't leave me here, I can't handle you leaving. I refuse to believe it. I hope it's the real thing, if not you'll be leaving.
So we're doing RDLs next. The exercises feel good. Energy's just low today. I took a nap earlier on the couch, and I never take naps. And I didn't even mean to, I just fell asleep. So that's where we're at, but we'll survive this workout.
Not a care in this world, all my walls fall down when you're on my mind. My heart beats loud.
Such a weird conception when the exercise itself feels good, but it also feels so difficult, but the connection is good. That's where we're at. Every rep takes all of the effort, but it feels good, so you want to get more reps at the same time.
All my walls fall down when you're on my mind. My heart beats loud. Give me oxytocin every time we kiss. I can't wait to see you this weekend. I think it's the real thing. Can you tell me if it is? And if it's not, I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it.
For these split squats, you can use them for quad focus or for glute focus. We're training glutes today, so glute focus. So you'll see when I go down, I keep my knee 90 degrees over my ankle and sit back into the movement. So it puts more stretch on my glute, and then my glute can contract to pull the weight back up. If you let your knee shift forward, your quad's gonna take over, which would be good for someone who needs quads. Your girl doesn't need any quads. So knee over ankle, sit back, and don't let your knee shift forward. I stand upright, I don't lean forward because then it's just lower back, and we don't need lower back to be worked by at kickbacks. Stand a little to the side so that when you come up, your knee comes across your body, you get a stretch in your glute, and then you can contract your glute and push back. That's as much range of motion as you need. Any further back is not glute anymore, it's lower back.
Give me oxytocin every time we kiss. I can't wait to see you this weekend. I think it's the real thing. Can you tell me if it is? And if it's not, I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. Don't leave me here, I can't handle you leaving. I refuse to believe it. I hope it's the real thing, if not you'll be leaving. It's only you and me right now. When you're holding me close, I feel safe and sound. Not a care in this world, all my walls fall down. When you're on my mind, my heart beats loud.
We're doing a creamy. This is the Rocky Road Raw Protein Isolate. I had it set out for about 20 minutes or so while I took a shower. We just got home from the gym. I'm gonna spin it on light ice cream, and then I'll check the texture and see if I spin it again. All right, so it's a little powdery, so I'm going to put a splash of almond milk and then spin it again, this time on ice cream, because light ice cream makes it a little too airy and I don't like that texture. So I'm gonna do ice cream. have ice cream. At this point, if you get fats or anything, you can mix in your toppings or cereal or however you want to do it. Your girl gets nothing, so this is how I'm going to eat it. And I always scrape the lid because we're not wasting anything. Bloopers. Okay, we are doing meal number 5. This is ground turkey cooked like, well, just cooked in taco seasoning. So like turkey meat or taco meat. Yeah, for real. My brain worked for like 3 days in London and then it's gone. So 100 grams of broccoli and carrots. I got these cool carrots from Sam's. They're rainbow carrots. So this one's purple. We got orange. You're going really fast. And we got yellow. So fun veggies. I was trying to empty that. And then we'll do 100 grams of ground turkey. And we'll put it in the microwave. So, part of this full day of eating was to show you my high carb day that boss had added on my glute training day. And then yesterday I was like, I don't like how this looks. So we're doing 3 low days. So you don't get to see the carbs, but we did add them back in. So rewind to the Arnold UK, we did the same peak as we did for the Arnold in Ohio, and mostly from pushing prep for 3 more weeks and my metabolism taking off once we added calories back in. It just didn't sustain me as long. So we did the same fat load going into the Arnold UK, and the look was all great. And then after posing for, as far as the order on stage, we did, we came out for like the first look. So there was like 6 of us in the line at a time, or I don't know, 4. There were 7 of us total. So like 4 and 3 or something like that. And then we came back on and did our individual routines, and then we came on and did comparisons. So by the time we came out for comparisons, I had started to flatten out a little bit, and flatter looks softer, and that got me 4th place. So from prejudging, we had an idea that, I mean, I wasn't winning the show. We knew that. And we could tell that I was flattening out. And part of the question going into the show was whether or not we should implement carbs. But since we hadn't implemented them so far in the prep, it was a much larger variable that we weren't sure how I would respond, so we didn't. But after prejudging, when we knew I wasn't gonna win anyway, and the look was flat, it's like fats don't digest super quickly. So the option was eat more meals of what I'd already been eating, or pull water a little harder and implement carbs. So that's what we did. I got a burger and fry, which you saw on my show day video, and I was happier with that look. I felt a lot fuller. It's funny because I told Martin, I was like, I kind of forgot what this felt like because we'd been without carbs for so long and we hadn't loaded on them, so we hadn't peaked and gotten just the full tighter feeling, skin tighter against the muscle. You can feel that when you start filling out. So we did that. I was happier with the look there. So coming out of the Arnold UK, then the question was, do we implement carbs for the rest of prep, or what do we do? Do we go back to keto? So me, Martin, and Boss kind of talked it over together and decided to do a more aggressive carb cycling approach. So the idea is at this point, I'm sensitive enough to the carbs to utilize them well. So we have a high day, which is for my glute day, a moderate carb day, which is really just carbs post-workout on my other training days. So my hamstring and quad training days, and then a 0 carb day for my non-training day. So that's what we've been doing for 3 days starting yesterday. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow will be low days, and then we will reconvene and see whether to go back to the carb cycling or what to do. And that's, I just want to get a little tighter for Girl Power, which is in a little under 3 weeks from now. And I would feel happier if we sped it up a little bit. So that's what we're doing. So we implemented the carbs, feeling good on them. Training obviously felt much better. Having a little glycogen in the muscle, pumps were much better. Strength came back really quickly. And that is the thought process there. So peaking for Girl Power, and I'll keep you updated if this changes, but I do think we will plan to implement carbs some and pull water a little harder. You know, for the last 2 peaks, we kept water consistent. So it was 5 liters the 2 days leading into the show. We'd pull it a little bit the night before the show, maybe pull it back to 4, 4.5, but nothing crazy. And I anticipate pulling it a little bit more significantly like we've done in the past. So keto has gotten me to a good spot when it comes to conditioning, and then just mitigating the peak and seeing what's going to work. Every peak is not ever the same. We know that. My response to it showed that I probably can use carbs going into the peak. So we have them in the prep now to assess my response to them and know how much to put in once we start loading. So bodybuilding is about gathering data. After prejudging at the Arnold UK, the data showed I wasn't winning with that package, so we needed to change something. And then the thought process was like, we'll go all in. And I liked that look much better for the evening show. I was tighter, I was fuller. I felt better connection with posing. So we'll take that and we'll run it into the last couple weeks of this extended prep into Girl Power, and then the following show. Because at this point, I still need to win 2 shows to qualify for the Olympia. I am within the qualification ranks as far as points, but I don't want to play that game. To me, that's more stressful. And you kind of have to stay ready to compete the rest of the season in case you get knocked down in points. So I'd rather just win 2 shows. That's still the game plan and strategy going forward. So that is the thought process there. Meal 5 done. I'm going to put a little salt on this. Make sure I'm hitting my salt. And we have a coffee scale that is a little bit more sensitive, so I like to measure my salt on this because sometimes the big scale doesn't pick up until there's enough weight on it. It's not quite as sensitive, and then you end up with like 3 grams of salt on your meal. And that is quite too much. So that is a gram. I'm gonna put some salsa on this to make it fancy, and then that'll be our meal. I'm not crazy with sauces in general. You haven't seen me use much sauce at all. So just a little salsa to give it some texture. What? All right, so we're gonna get a little creative with this meal. This is my last meal. I'm gonna do an omelet, but I'm gonna put it in the waffle maker. We'll make it a little bit sweet and savory. So I'm just gonna cook these mushrooms first a little bit so that they're not raw. I'm gonna get 3 eggs in this. So I'm gonna do 1 egg's worth of chicken sausage, which is 3 of these little links. I'm gonna brown these up in the pan too. And then 1 whole egg will go in the mixture. Egg whites. And just a little splash of almond milk, maybe like 2 ounces. And we'll do, actually no, we're gonna do a flavor powder, which this is from ESN. Just 1 scoop will be plenty. Let that cook up a little bit so that it's wilted because I don't like raw spinach. put all this in my bowl here. Spray it so it doesn't stick. Mix this up. I don't know why that's happening. Shit. It didn't work perfect. Probably should have trialed it before I showed y'all, but. Ooh! And a giant fail. No more's coming out of the bottom, so it's cooking. So if you do this at home, maybe do it horizontally. This one's meant to pour the batter in the top, but maybe not if it's thin because it's eggs. I got this idea from a restaurant we went to on Easter, and they did the eggs in a waffle maker, and I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. Maybe just, if you got carbs, add carbs to yours. I don't get carbs today, so. All right, so this is the little hack if you're hungry. So I put my little cheese on top, some nut butter, and maybe some sugar-free syrup. Yeah, if you do enough of any 0-calorie anything, it's gonna have calories. So the serving size for this is 30 mLs, 2 tablespoons. That's all I'm gonna do because I'm probably not gonna use this whole thing anyway. But if you're a sauce happy person and you're not measuring your sauces, you're using more than you think and you're getting more calories than you think. Okay, so my little plug here is Amber and I are hosting a posing seminar on April 26th, the day after Girl Power in Orlando, Florida. Our suit sponsor, KH Customs, Krista will be there with suits, jewelry. We're gonna go over all the things show related, suits, posing, glam, what to expect, tanning, all the things. So make sure that you are there, especially if you're going to Girl Power anyway. You can go watch the show, come to our seminar the following day. Chloe will put the link to register here. It's also in my Instagram bio. So it's in Amber's also, so you can find it anywhere. This is our second year doing it. We hosted it last year. We had a good turnout, and we'll improve every year. So this year we'll have some fun giveaways, prizes, goodie bags, and you get to hang out with us for a couple hours. So it'll be fun. Make sure you're there. Wellness, bikini, and fit model. We'll go over posing, all the things, comparisons, how to put a routine together, how much time you get, NPC driven, as far as the material that we'll go over. So it'll be a fun time. Make sure you're there. Like, subscribe, do all the things, share, and we'll keep you updated with how this prep is going.